All right. Okay. Let's go. Cross. Crossing. Okay, go there. Okay, face Dad.
जैसे अपना रुक जाइए आ जाओ फोटो लेते हैं नॉर्मल
No, the two of us. We will turn that way. A lot of people. Okay. Yeah, look. Come on. So many people here. So many people. Okay, let's go. This is the wedding. They do the wedding over there. Royal wedding. Okay, that's Westminster Pier. Let's go ride the cruise. We're hungry, so we're trying out the sausage hot dog. Step-free access. Step-free access. Okay, let's go. Here, he's eating hot dog. He's hungry. We didn't have time to eat. What's that? City Cruise?
City Cruises.
Huh? City Cruises? Okay. So for City Cruises, we're boarding on the A. Look at the line. How's your hot dog? Oh, but there's always Lhasa if it's. Look at that Big Ben over there. Look at that.
Wow, that's a good shot.
Canarias que van puestos y esperamos a y es que hay que hacerlo. Y aquí
Excuse me.
Sí, podemos bajar, ¿no?
Oh no, I can't read it.
On your right hand side, we're going to head to the Tower of London for our stop, and then on to Greenwich after that. First of all, though, you will be getting the shortest cruise in your entire life
I'm sure this
because we're
is,
going to the London Eye.
this
It's
is
not very
the
long stop over there,
shortest
folks. So if you're leaving
cruise.
us at the London Eye, please make sure you've got all of your belongings, and we'll see you down at the exit very shortly.
Ah, you can also exit there.
For those of you that joined us at Westminster on the boat for your comfort, we've got a fully licensed bar, toilets downstairs at the back of the boat. You're more than welcome on the top deck. You get great views up here. We just ask you to try and stay seated whilst we're underway. Just be really careful if you are moving about the boat. Now, when we leave the London Eye, I'll be back on the microphone doing a proper safety briefing with everyone. So, in the meantime, just sit back, relax, enjoy the views, and I'll speak to you again in a moment.
You've been invited to the House of Hong Kong soiree, you know. We've had loads of curry.
That's really bad.
Well, I preferred Tokyo
Tower.
That's my favorite one.
Tokyo Skytree.
No, tower. Been in any large building in Asia? That's what I meant to say.
I haven't been any large building.
Or anywhere in Asia.
We're going to head down to the Tower of London very soon, and then on to Greenwich. Firstly, though, we're just going to sort of do a little bit of a turnaround up here, just to give you a nice view of the Palace of Westminster, which is ahead of us there. As we leave the London Eye, so the boat you're on today is called the Millennium of Peace. It's licensed by the Maritime and Coast Guard Agency. We're fully equipped on this boat with life-saving and firefighting equipment, which the crew are trained in the use of, and we carry out regular drills on board as well. We're in communication with all of the boats you see on this river, as well as the port. Please remain calm and seated and just listen to your crew's instructions. Okay, we're trained. Me and the captain behind me here, we've both got licenses that allow us to be out here working on this river. So you're in safe hands, guys, okay? It's that you try and stay seated if you're on the top deck. There's a number of reasons for that. We rock about a bit because we're on a boat and it's not very nice falling on it. Would people prefer that? Would people like a bit of a live commentary this afternoon? Yeah? Right, go, give that a go. We're not tour guides or anything, we're not actors. We're crew, we're here for your safety. So if I get anything wrong, keep it to yourself. Oh, it's very embarrassing for me. We'll give it a go. Anyway, as promised, we just brought you up here just to give you a nice view of the Palace of Westminster there, folks. Today, it is the funeral of the Duchess of Kent today. That's why, if anyone is wondering why the flags are at half. Edward, sorry. So, Westminster Bridge is on your right. We're going to follow the south bank of the river here. This white building in front of you is County Hall, and that used to be home to the Lord Mayor of London. But there are significantly more important things in here today: Shrek's Adventure, the London Dungeons, and the Sea Life Aquarium. But the South Bank is a great place to go. Actually, you can actually walk from here, Westminster Bridge, all the way down to Tower Bridge if you wanted to. Yeah, loads to see. I'll point out a number of things on the right-hand side as we head downriver. Right, the London Eye. So we just left the London Eye. Now, the London Eye, originally called the Millennium Wheel, it was built as part of the Millennium celebrations in the year 2000. And ever since the millennium, it has become the centrepiece to London's New Year celebrations, setting off the fireworks from the London Eye here. It was actually a short-term project though, so it's only really supposed to be here for about 5 years. But as you can see, it is still there. Good reason, it makes quite a lot of money. Apparently on a good day, it can make about £250,000, which is ridiculous. Now you don't have to count them, you can trust me, there are 32 pods on the London Eye. That's not a random number. Each pod represents one of the 32 boroughs of London. Now you can actually get married in these pods now, so do wedding ceremonies on the London Eye. Apparently you can have 20 people. It lasts half an hour, your ceremony, and when your pod gets to the top, they stop the London Eye for 1 minute, so you can say your I do's. Very romantic. But we don't recommend. Grey boat on your left-hand side, the Tattershall Castle, says pub on the Thames. Now, it used to be a paddle steamer that operated on the River Humber, which is in the northeast of England, and the boat was brought onto the Thames many years ago. And originally they opened it up as an art gallery on the river. It later opened as a pub, and it said it made more money in 1 day as a pub than it did in its entire existence as an art gallery. A bit about London, really, and the prices that they charge. So there you go. Right, we're going under our first bridge, Charing Cross Railway Bridge. To the left of the bridge is Charing Railway Station, which was designed to look like a steam train, and I think it looks more like a jukebox myself. But it is said if you go under this bridge on a boat and you wave at these people on this bridge and they wave back at you, it gives you 5 years good luck. So
Okay, wave.
Wave.
5 days of good luck. Okay, it's fine.
I'll tell you what won't be good luck is if you get wet here, because the trains discharge their toilets over the
Uh-oh.
I don't know. Anyway, there's another bridge, you can have another go waving it.
Okay.
Oh, I forgot to mention, if they wave at you on this bridge, though, it's 5 years bad luck. Sorry about that. Should have said that in the first place. Anyway, there's Charing Cross. Back on the south bank to your right, we've got Royal Festival Hall. Right, so that is the last remaining building from the Festival of Great Britain. That took place in 1951. Inside is a theatre with world-class acoustics. Some of the best performers of all time have performed there. The likes of Pavarotti, Python, Amy Winehouse, Frank Sinatra, to name you. I'm actually going there later this year to see Bluey and Friends with my daughter, which is slightly different, isn't it?
Oh, Bluey.
Equally as good, I would say.
Just gonna go and watch Bluey.
I'll continue to point things out on the right. The next bridge is Waterloo Road Bridge. It's the second bridge to stand on this site. The original bridge here was called the Strand Bridge, and they renamed it after the Battle of Waterloo, but it started crumbling down a little bit, so they thought they'd take it down. And reconstruction for this bridge started in 1939. But with the outbreak of the Second World War, a lot of the men that were constructing this bridge were sent off to fight. So the bridge was completed by the ladies of London. An almost entirely female workforce built this bridge. And a good fact for you is, it remains the only bridge in London to have been built on time and under budget.
Let's
So
wave
well done,
again.
the ladies.
Wave.
It's also Central London's longest bridge, stretching a quarter of a mile all the way up to the
Nobody's
Strand on the
waving
left.
back.
Made of Portland stone, which has self-cleansing properties. So there you go, the ladies' bridge, Waterloo. Back on the south bank, now we've got this grey building with the electronic advertising board. That's our National Theatre Theatre to your right. Now, it won't surprise you to hear that gets voted the ugliest building on the river because it looks more like a car park, really, doesn't it? But don't judge a book by its cover. There's 3 theatres inside, one of which is the Olivier Theatre, named after Laurence Olivier, and it hosts some of the best shows in London. So that's our National Theatre on your right. Just a little bit about the river itself for you. The total length of the River Thames is 215 miles. 90 miles of this river is tidal, and where we are in central London, part of that tidal section. Now we've got a very large tide range here. Between high and low water we can see a rise and fall in the water level of about 7.5 metres.
Wow.
So it gives us really strong tidal currents as well, about 7 knots of current as well. Now we're pretty much bang on low water right now. Very soon the tide is going to turn and we are going to experience about 5 hours of an incoming flood tide. So water's going to start rushing back into the city, taking us back to high water. Now you can see the high water mark clearly. If you look at the walls either side of the boat, take a look towards the top of the wall, there's a dark greenish line. That's the high water mark. So you can see how much the water level is going to rise in the next few hours. The tide actually extends all the way to a town to the west of London called Teddington. And Teddington actually means tide ending town. Teddington. Just on your left, we've got this white ship over here to your left hand side. That's the HQS Wellington. If you look at the back of the boat, the stern, there's a little archway on your left hand side, just at the back of the boat here, on the wall. And that's called Temple Arch that we're just passing, and it's a boundary marker. That's the boundary between the city of Westminster that we've just left and the city of London we're now in. Now, not a lot of people are aware of this, so the city of London stretches from here to Tower Bridge, which is where we're going. It's all on your left hand side. It's 1 square mile in size and has a population of 10,000 people. The City of London is one of the United Kingdom's smallest cities. Now, when you're thinking of London, what you're actually thinking of is Greater London. And that comprises of 32 different boroughs. I think I mentioned that earlier with the London Eye, and has a population of about 10 million. So that there is a huge difference between Greater London and the City of London. But we're now in the city itself, the square mile. Now there are 2 bridges in front of us. These are the Blackfriars bridges. I'll tell you about them when we get a bit closer, but firstly we always navigate on the starboard side of a channel. That's the right hand side. So we're on the right hand side of the river, which means we are lining up for the correct archway. Where that little boat's going through, that's the archway we're supposed to go through on these bridges. However, if you came back here at high water, so about 5 or 6 hours time, we actually won't fit under this archway. So when we go under this bridge, have a look above you. The highest point's the wheelhouse on the boat, and that'll give you an idea of how much we're going to rise in the next few hours. So sometimes we have to use, at particularly high tides, we have to use the archway to the left there, which is supposed to be for traffic going in the other direction. But the tides are always something we're monitoring on the river. We're constantly checking what the state of the tide is, and it dictates pretty much everything we do out there. So the bridges themselves, the Blackfriars bridges, if you look at the pillars on the road bridge here, they were designed to look like church pulpits, and that's because there used to be a monastery on the north bank to your left hand side. Now also on the pillars you'll notice there's some engravings of some birds. This side of the bridge they are freshwater birds, the other side of the bridge they are seabirds, and that's because when they built this bridge they believed this is where salt and freshwater stop. The brick pillars either side of the boat here, these are the foundations of the original railway bridge designed by Isambard Kingdom Brunel. The second bridge is today's railway bridge. It's actually a train station, so above you is Blackfriars train station. The station above us was designed and constructed to accommodate more people coming to London for the Olympics in 2012. The only problem is they completed construction in 2013, so they totally missed the Olympics, which is a pretty poor job, isn't it? But there you go, Blackfriars. Right, you get a nice view from the river. On the left, we can see St Paul's Cathedral. Now, the cathedral on your left-hand side The building that you see today opened to the public in 1711. It was reconstructed after the Great Fire of London, which was in 1666. The Great Fire of London destroyed 80% of the city on your left-hand side, the square mile I was telling you about. Reduced it to ashes, and probably the most famous building that was burned down in the fire was St Paul's. So it was redesigned by Sir Christopher Wren. It stands at 365 feet tall, and it remained the tallest building in London up until the 1960s, and that's because they were not allowed to build anything taller than that cathedral on your left-hand side. Even to this day, any high-rise buildings have to get, have to consider views of the cathedral before they get planning permission. Talking of views of the cathedral, when we go under the Millennium Footbridge, look to your left and you'll see this bridge was built in line with St Paul's. This bridge, made famous in the Harry Potter movies, apparently it was the most expensive scene in the whole franchise when they flew over this bridge on broomsticks. But I am going to change it from Harry Potter to Shakespeare now, because on your right hand side there's a white building with a thatched roof, and that's Shakespeare's Globe Theatre at Bankside. It is that was during a performance of Henry VIII. Now, if you went to see a performance in the Globe Theatre during Shakespeare's time, to get your ticket in the standing section, it would have cost you 1 penny. And what they used to do was go around the theatre collecting the money in a box. At the end of the performance, the box was taken to the box office where they counted it, and that is where we get the same box office from today, the old theatres in Southwark on your right hand side. Any performance in the Globe Theatre today, they generally do it in the traditional style, so no lighting or sound effects. So I mentioned Southwark there, so this is the London Borough of Southwark, and we're about to go under Southwark Bridge. Now this is the least used bridge in London, it's the quietest bridge, because it's really hard to find. Lots of one-way streets lead to this bridge, so it's really confusing trying to find it. So if you see anyone walking across this bridge, guys, please give them a wave, because they are probably a bit lost. To be honest with you. Let's see anyone. But there you go. So the bridge you see today was actually completed in 1921. The original bridge built in the early 1800s to alleviate congestion on the old London Bridge. I'll tell you about the London Bridge. Now some of you might be thinking, let's find a riverside pub this afternoon. I've got a good one for you. On the right hand side, there's a lovely pub over here. It's got the red windows. It's called the Anchor. That is one of the most photographed pubs in London, and it's also oldest on the river. This pub has been here for over 400 years. Some pretty famous people have had a drink there. Samuel Pepys, he sat in this pub and chronicled the Great Fire of London from here. Dr. Johnson, William Shakespeare, his actors, the captain, myself of course. In fact, that's where you'll find me and the captain this evening, the Anchor, straight after work. That is for research purposes though, of course, for these commentaries. We have to do our research. Anyway, we're going under Cannon Street Bridge now. Another railway bridge for you. Now, London for over 300 years was the busiest port in the world. Warehouses used to line the banks of the river for up to 10 miles. Now, some nice examples of some of the old warehouses to your right. We've got Winchester Wharves, Pickford's Wharf warehouses. Now, talking of ships, next to Pickford's Wharf on your right is a pirate ship in the dry dock that we're about to go past. Has anyone seen Pirates of the Caribbean? Yeah? That has absolutely Englishmen to circumnavigate the world. It is said when Drake returned to London from his voyage around the world, he brought back so much stolen gold from the Spanish that it cleared this country's national debt for the first and last time. Now this is a very famous bridge that we're about to go on. This is the bridge that keeps falling down. London Bridge.
Falling
now
down.
several bridges have stood here. There's been a bridge here since the Romans built one about 2,000 years ago. The most famous London Bridge, the old medieval bridge, built in the 12th century. It spanned the river for around 600 years. It was considered a wonder of the world at the time. Now if you're interested, on the left hand side we're going to pass a couple of buildings with scaffolding. Now in that gap is a church called St Magnus the Martyr. Now if you go in there, they've got a scale replica model of the old London Bridge, but they've also got some of the wooden foundations of the original Roman bridge as well. Worth going in. The tall building above us on the right hand side, that's the UK's tallest skyscraper, the Shard. Stands at just over 1,000 feet tall. Inside there's bars, restaurants, offices, apartments. All the apartments in the Shard are valued between 30 and 50 million pounds. Ridiculous. Very, very close to the Shard is Borough Market. I know a lot of our passengers like to visit it. Very close to the Shard on your right hand side. Now on your left, with the tall buildings on your left hand side, by the way, that's the financial district of the your left hand side. We've got this white building on the riverfront behind the trees. It's got 6 black chimneys on its roof in the middle. Waterguard House on your left hand side. Now anything illegally bought, it's just high. I wonder why. Now you might have to strain your eyes to see this one because see this right. HMS Belfast on the right hand side of the boat. She was built in the same shipyard as the Titanic. They are building a new HMS Belfast at the moment, but that one's being built on the River Clyde in Scotland. Saw action in the Second World War, but today she is a museum, so she's part of the Imperial War Museum here in London. So if you're into your naval history, it is well worth a visit. HMS Belfast. Now our stop is on your left, Tower Millennium Pier. Tower of London over here on the left hand side. That's a UNESCO World Heritage Site with nearly 1,000 years of history. The oldest part of the tower is the centre with the 4 turrets dating back to the 1070s, built during the reign of William the Conqueror.
Dad, stay here. Selfie.
So folks, we're getting you right up to the Tower Bridge. Just a reminder, try and stay seated as best you can. We're going to turn the boat in a minute and we are likely to rock as we go side on. Now this bridge in front of you is unique. It is a twin steel suspension amble bridge. Bascule is a French word, it means counterbalance, and that's the centre parts of the bridge that rise, allowing taller ships into the city. The only day of the year this bridge will not open, definitely will not open, is the day of the London Marathon. And it was a very foggy day in London this December day, and when Albert got to the middle of the bridge, through the fog, he noticed that the bridge was beginning to open, and there was actually about a 3-foot gap. Now at this point, what most people would do is put their foot on the brakes. Albert didn't do that. He accelerated his bus and he jumped Tower Bridge. That is a true story. The day the bus driver jumped Tower Bridge. Now he was the only person to get injured. He broke his leg. He was given a medal for his bravery and a £10 bonus. Apparently most of that £10 went on a clean pair of pants. But it's a true story. The day the bus driver jumped Tower Bridge. I think if you did something like that today, well, you'd definitely get the sack and you'd probably end up in prison. Talking of prisons, that is a very famous one on your left-hand side, the Tower of London. Now, as I said, a lot of history, but it is most famous for being a place of imprisonment, torture and execution. Now, some very famous people have been imprisoned in the Tower. Guy Fawkes, Sir Walter Raleigh, Elizabeth I, Anne Boleyn, and of course Mel Gibson. Just testing you. William Wallace, of course, if you were wondering. William Wallace, he was hung, drawn and quartered at Spitalfields, just up the road. Now, I'm not going to go into the details of that because that was 9 o'clock. But if you fancy a good day out, the Tower of London, an amazing place. Right, we're going to back up towards our pier. Now, do stay your seats, guys, as we head over to the pier. Sometimes there's a little bump as we come alongside, so stay where you are until we're nicely alongside the pier. Travel information for you. Can I see a show of hands? Is anyone going to Greenwich? Anyone for Greenwich? Right, quite a few. Okay, that is where we go next. So if you have tickets for Greenwich, you can stay with us. If you'd like to return to Westminster or the London Eye, change here and a boat will take you back upriver. Bus tickets, this will be your stop. The buses do not operate out of Greenwich. Do not get caught out of this one. The buses are the stops for the buses are the other side of the Tower of London on your left-hand side. So bus tickets, this will be your stop.
Okay.
So the Tower of London, do check you've got all your belongings with you, guys. Don't leave anything on the boat, okay? Please.